Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and early. It is 3:45 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Today, I want to talk about two coffee shops. I feel today's one of those days when I feel extremely strongly about this video. I want to talk about two coffee shops, and I want to talk about we have freedoms, but along with freedoms, all these freedoms comes responsibilities. And it's obvious to me, especially these last couple of days, these last couple of weeks, these last couple of months, that people just think they can do or say whatever they want without any repercussion. And if there is a repercussion, they're being canceled. It's the socialist radical right trying to censor them. No, it's a kickback because you're not acting responsibly. It's just that simple. All right, let me start with an Ohio coffee shop. Lisbon, I gotta look at my notes over here. Lisbon, Ohio. The coffee shop is called C4. Adam Newbold owns it. He's a former Navy SEAL. Okay, it's Adam's opinion that Biden supporters, Biden voters he does not want to sell. He does not want them in his store. He does not want to serve them. He does not want to serve people that believe in transgender rights or transgender people. He does not want to serve people who take a knee as a form of protest during the national anthem. Two out of those three are me, without a doubt. You guys have seen my video. I strongly believe in taking a knee as a form of protest. I've done it all by myself in a group of about 100 Trump supporters. Okay, let me talk about this guy first. First of all, I was really under the impression I really had more respect for Navy SEALs. To me, it seemed like it would take so much intelligence and drive and determination. And I just thought, I really thought I had a higher opinion that a Navy SEAL, because after all, you're in the military. You're fighting for people's rights to do or say or feel, their freedoms, freedom of speech. And yet here he does not want to serve people. He doesn't want to serve their anybody that has a different opinion than his. This is a Navy SEAL. This is a guy who's willing to fight and die for freedom of speech, but he doesn't want to hear other people's opinions. Okay, it's America. Honestly, how do I feel about this? It's his choice. It's his store. He owns it. It's his property. No shirts, no shoes, no service, all that stuff. And I tell you what, I love coffee, and I would not buy a cup of coffee from this guy. If I had to drink water every day for the rest of my life instead of coffee, it'd be fine with me. I will not give this guy a nickel if it means that a penny of that will go to him going to D.C. in the future. Oh, did I forget to mention that? He went to Washington, D.C. on January 6th and participated in the protests there. I don't know how far into it he got, so I'm just going to stop right there. But he was there. There's no way in hell I would give this guy a penny if it means it might go to buy him a plane ticket to D.C. in the future, if it might means he's to buy him or any more instruments of destruction, ammunition, whatever. I would not go to this coffee shop if it was the last coffee shop on earth. And I mean that with every fiber of my being. All right, let's go to the second coffee shop in New York City. By the way, you guys can see both these stories and make up your own mind. I'm going to have a lot of links down below for everything I'm talking about. So you guys can go down and look at all the stories and make up your own minds. All right. New York City, the David Itch Bakery in Essex Market. Okay, you guys might have seen this one, a Karen. Okay, I got the video down below. It's in a Huffington Post story, and I'll probably have it a separate link down below just for the video. We see a woman with a baby carriage, and she's got look, I'm a firm believer in your stance, your aura. You can give off, I know that I can be, I can intimidate. I have no doubt. I survived the 2 decades of my addiction by using that. I know that you can give off, you could strongly give off a feeling. You don't have to say, you don't have to use words. You can give off a feeling of your intentions, of your personality. So we see a woman there, holding her with one hand on the baby carriage, the other hand on her hip. She looks quite well to do. And she's insisting on being served. She's not wearing a mask. And there's an African-American. It looks like most of the servers are, the baristas are African-American. There's an African-American security guard. And she's refusing to leave. The customers behind her are getting irate. They won't serve her because she's not wearing a mask. Once again, this is private property. They have every right. No shirts, no shoes, no mask, no service. And on top of that, it's a matter of health. Okay? They have every right in the world to do this, to ask her to leave. They do not have to serve her. It's private property, a private business. You'd really think that Trump supporters and Republican Trump supporters would understand this capitalism concept, this free enterprise concept of owning property and being able to expel somebody from it. You really think they would understand that these days. So she's standing there with her hand on her hip, and then she refused to leave. The people behind her just want to get their coffee and go to work. They're getting irate. And she says, why? Just because you're a blankety blank N-word. And you hear the groans from behind her. No, you didn't say that. And the security guard's like, you gotta go now. You know, before you get your ass kicked. And the tape more or less ends right there. She's interviewed later in the New York Daily News. And here's some of her quotes. I wrote these quotes down exactly verbatim to tell you guys. They're forcing people to wear masks in New York City. Once again, it's the socialists, the radical socialists, the deep state, they're forcing us to wear masks. They want to take away our freedom. It's a satanic cult. No, it's a business owner who wants his patrons to live long enough to come back to his store next year. It's that freaking simple. They are the people that you're supposed to support. I'm going to get to the Donald Trump part in a second. So let me go on with her quote. It's political theater. I don't believe in COVID-19. It's a hoax to convince people to use absentee ballots to steal the election for Donald Trump. End of quote. Again, this is a quote. This is not my feelings. If there's algorithms in YouTube, not my words. It's the words of this woman in the Daviditch Bakery. Okay, this really isn't, to me, it's not as much about as wearing a mask as it is about what she just said there. She doesn't believe in COVID-19. That's a hoax. Trying to convince people to use absentee ballots to steal the election. Okay, right there. Well, first of all, she's already insulted, denigrated all the African Americans. All right. Now she doesn't believe in COVID-19. So the 558,422 Americans who have died as of this morning, she doesn't believe it. It's a hoax. They didn't really die. I don't know. I don't know the rest of her theory. Imagine how the families of those people here, literally millions of people that are related to these 558,422 Americans, how their families feel hearing this woman say it's a hoax. Doesn't exist. Now that their dad's gone, died from COVID-19, suffocated on a ventilator in a hospital. And they couldn't even see him. But it's a hoax. Can you freaking imagine that? And on top of that, the 2,756,768 people worldwide that have passed away from COVID-19. So not only has she insulted all the African Americans in America and the world, she's insulted the millions of COVID-19 victims and the dozens of millions, tens of millions of their families. Okay, I don't even know where to start with this. So it's a hoax. This is what just drives me crazy. Okay, so in England, in Spain, in Portugal, in Australia, China, every country around the world, that's all a hoax? Or is the rest of the world okay and everybody's lying to us? Is it that big of a conspiracy? Really? Is this what you truly believe? That the whole rest of the world is in on this just to get Donald Trump out of office? Really? Lady, you're crazy. You're just, this is beyond an opinion. You're just downright crazy. To steal the election from Donald Trump. Okay, so over here, you got a Trump supporter that wants to use his rights as a business owner to not serve who he pleases. But at the same time, you have another Trump supporter over here with her hand on her hip, demanding to be served by this blankety blank N-word. Because she's not, it's American. She doesn't have to wear a mask, and you have to serve me. You have to serve me in your store. Wow. They just want the best of both worlds, don't they? They demand to be served by every store in America because it's their right. After all, they're Americans. They can do, say, and demand whatever the hell they want, and people better listen. And nobody better criticize them because that's cancel culture. All right. Yes, we have freedom of speech. She can have this theory, but there's responsibilities. Like owning a gun. There's responsibilities. Driving a car. There's responsibilities. Along with our freedoms and our rights comes responsibilities. No matter how angry we get, we can't just go into a supermarket like in Boulder, Colorado. No matter what. Along with the right to buy whatever, we have the responsibility. And we also have the people selling these things have the responsibility to spot people like this. Not just think about that extra $100 he's going to have in his pocket by selling this AR, but to be aware of people coming in there to buy these things, whether it be mail order, whether it be in the store or whatever. If you see a flag, it's your responsibility to keep it out of his hands. Responsibility. Along with rights comes responsibility. What if I walked into a church? I'm a strong believer in God. I was raised Catholic, but I believe without a doubt, especially after my recovery of 14 years from heroin and cocaine, that, I have no doubt there's a higher power. But what if I walked into a church and just started saying the most god-awful things, especially now during Lent, about JC? What if I just walked into a full church? Well, there's no full churches right now. But you get my point. And I just started saying the most terrible things about you. The worst. Hey, it's America. I can say whatever I want, right? I can walk into Paris Island, Camp Lejeune, down in North Carolina, and call every one of those Marines a mama's boy. Am I right? Right? But there's going to be consequences if you don't use your head and your responsibilities. Along with rights comes responsibilities. And if you ignore this, there's consequences to your actions, which I'm gonna guess that this lady in this New York bakery is about to find out. And then I'm sure we're gonna hear about the cancel culture. Oh my God, the cancel culture, because she just wanted to, it's political theater. It could be whatever. It could be a real theater. It's a store owner's right. No shirts, no mask. It's his ground. It's his property. It's his business. There's no they. There's no socialist boogeyman, radical boogeyman that's coming to make you hide in your basement like Joe Biden. It's people exercising common sense and responsibility, unlike this lady. One last thing I want to say, like I was saying, her demeanor. She stands there with her hand on her hip, the cold stare, her dress, her aura. Now, I could be assuming a lot here, but like I said, I've used those things before to save my butt before, and I know people can intentionally give off an aura. So she stands there in front of this barista, this African-American barista, and demands to be served. And if he doesn't serve her, then he's just a bitch ass N-word. Wow. All right. You guys have a good Thursday.